Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. And I was going to do a video pretty much just recapping the Carolina versus Atlanta game. I decided not to do that. It's the final game of the season. I just want to talk about, one, the play of the Panthers in that game and something I've seen throughout the season with the inconsistency with the offense. But I also wanted to talk about what Cris Carter said. Now, I'll get into that first and kind of tell you, heading into the playoffs, they do have to face a New Orleans team that's beaten them twice. The offense didn't look good. There's been a lot of inconsistency with the offense throughout the season. They had good games, they had bad games, and that's not the type of game you want to have going into the playoffs. Now, winning or losing didn't mean anything because they didn't move down in terms of they didn't move from 5th seed to 6th seed, nor did they have a chance at winning the division or getting a 2nd seed because none of the scenarios came into place. But let's start out with Cris Carter said. Now, just to give you the abridged version, I didn't see it. I don't watch ESPN. It's garbage. I saw a video on Twitter, and essentially outside of him saying Cam wasn't that good of a player, talking about some of his other seasons, he was like every other season outside his MVP season has been pretty much average to below average. Okay. Also, of course, his play this season, which I agree, it has been inconsistent. But to put all the blame on Cam Newton, that guy don't watch no games. And see, this is a problem with that I have with a lot of these ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, whoever it may be, these analysts who are ex-athletes, they don't watch the games. They'll watch 3-4 games. They watch the nationally televised games. They don't look at highlights just like every other casual piece of trash. They don't watch the games. They go in there, they look at box scores, but he didn't put up those numbers. Based on the offense Cam has, he's not going to be putting up 300 yards a game. He's not. You don't have the talent to do it. He doesn't have it. But these guys, they look at the numbers. They don't look at the impact that he has on the field. They don't look at how much weight he has to carry for that offense. That running game's not good unless he runs the ball effectively. But I bet he didn't bring that up. As a quarterback, when you're that important to your team's running game, in terms of quarterbacks, running quarterbacks, he's been one of the most important to his running game that I've ever seen. Guys like Russell Wilson is very important as well. But Cam Newton, in the Falcons game, he led the team in rushing. And he's done that multiple times this year where he's led the team in rushing. That's how bad the running game's been. The offensive line, very inconsistent. The receivers, Greg Olsen's been hurt most of the year. Christian McCaffrey's a rookie. They traded away Kelvin Benjamin. Devin Funchess on most teams will be a third. He'd be a third receiver. On most of these playoff teams, he'd be a third receiver. But he's the number one. And I asked this question on Twitter. Name me. I was being nice. I was going to say 3 other receivers. But name me 2 other receivers not named Devin Funchess. Of course, people know who Devin Funchess is. But without looking it up. And I doubt too many, unless it's someone who watches the games, of course they can name them. But casuals, they probably don't even know Devin Funchess. They know Greg Olsen, but he's a tight end. Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton, Jonathan Stewart. They know some of these guys, and of course they know some of the guys on the defense. But to sit there and blame only Cam Newton for the issues with this team's offense, not even talking about other issues I have on the defense with the safeties, Kurt Coleman, Mike Adams, garbage. But look on the offense. And this goes even deeper. Look at the coaching staff. Ron Rivera's a bum. He's conservative. The defensive coordinator, I like him because he's willing to bring pressure. But you watch this game, you watch the Atlanta game. It's happened multiple times in the season. This is why teams have stayed close in the fourth quarter despite the Panthers getting the lead on them. Is you'll bring extra guys, but then you'll play off coverage, allowing the quarterback to get rid of the ball quickly. dumb. Now, it's not his fault that the safeties can't tackle. Because Kurt Coleman, Mike Adams, they can't tackle in space. They suck. But Mike Shula, I mean, there are times you run 2 receivers routes. You don't have that talent to run 2 receiver routes. Now, I'll say in some, they have gotten a little more creative as the season goes on, or has went on. But then you'll see they go right back into the things that don't work. Now, a lot of it's the play of the players, but you can see the play calling is inconsistent as well. A lot of times, like I said, 2 receiver routes, these deep routes, Cam has to hold the ball, nothing short. You see that a lot. And like I said, it goes deeper than Cam Newton. Offensive line inconsistencies, receiver lack of talent, lack of a running game. Jonathan Stewart have a good game. He'll have 2-3 touchdowns. And then the next game, he'll have 20 yards on. He'll have like 25 yards on 20 carries. Just because he's the type of guy who he's gonna fight for those yards. So he gets hit a lot in the backfield. He's not making a bunch of guys miss. He's not breaking a bunch of tackles. So he loses yards. He's not gonna break too many open. So they really need some speed at running back, and they're hoping Christian McCaffrey could be that guy. But I think he's still better suited as a receiver coming out of the backfield that can run sometimes. But guys like Cris Carter, they don't watch the games, man. He looks at the box score, he looks at highlights, and then he blames. And that's what most people do. When it comes to the quarterback either gets all the credit or all the blame. It's an unfortunate side to the NFL. And it's so stupid to look at it like that when it's a team sport. You go as far in terms of throughout the season and in the playoffs as your team goes. Your teammates have to make plays on both sides of the football. Can a quarterback be the most important guy? Of course. I mean, most of the time he will be. He's a guy who's, he's making the changes on offense. A lot of teams go as far as their quarterback goes. But other guys have to make plays. Receivers have to catch the ball. Receivers have to get open. Offensive linemen have to block. Running backs have to make plays if their offensive line is blocking. Defense has to get stops. It's a team sport. Special teams is important. The coaches have to put their guys in the position to succeed. And a lot of times you see they don't in Carolina. Now, I'm talking about a team that won 11 games. Yes, they've played well this season. They've had some bad games. Yeah, they've won some ugly games. Sure. But this is something that's kind of hurt the team throughout the seasons, but especially the games they've lost. And then you see games that teams have come back on them. Conservative offense, conservative defense, and just an overall lack of talent on offense. I think that is the biggest problem, the overall lack of talent on offense. Get Cam Newton some weapons, and then we'll see what he can do. You saw when he had some guys out there making plays in his MVP season. He won the MVP. Ted Ginn had, 9 touchdowns. A guy who has never been a traditional wide receiver in his entire career until he came to Carolina and started making plays. But that's all I want to talk about Cris Carter. He's an idiot. He's just another NFL. He's just another ex-pro athlete who doesn't watch the games, where people automatically take what he said and run with it just because he was an ex-NFL player. He's a Hall of Famer, but doesn't mean he knows what's going on in every single game, especially without watching them. Sorry. But like I said, so many issues other than just Cam. Cam takes some of the blame. But there are definitely other players that should take the blame. That's all I'm saying. But heading into the playoffs, they face the New Orleans Saints. And it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. You know, I talked about issues that I had, especially after watching this game. They just all came back in just one game. Cam Newton threw the ball 34 times, only completed 14 of them. A lot of it was contested. Some of them were just inaccurate throws, and that's a problem he's had. He's had problems with accuracy throughout the season, throughout his career. Running game was non-existent. Like I said, Cam led the team in rushing in an Atlanta game. And the defense, I think the front seven played good. Atlanta wasn't able to really establish a running game, but the off coverage, Matt Ryan's able to make easier throws. And the tackling wasn't that great, especially from the safeties, who are guys who are supposed to be, your better tacklers in the secondary. They didn't do a good job, and that's happened throughout the season. Kurt Coleman, Mike Adams, most of the guys, anyone they put back there, Darius Byrd, those guys aren't good tacklers, and you see that watching these games. So you gotta head to New Orleans and beat a team that's beaten you twice. Now, I'm hoping they can turn things around. I think they will, but as a Panther fan, I don't see how you cannot be concerned after coming from a game like this. It's only one game, didn't affect the Panthers' playoff position. None of the scenarios came into place. I don't see how you can't be a little, just a little concerned. The offense is very inconsistent. But I think I'm done. Of course, I got a video. I'm going to have a video coming out talking about the wild card games. And, of course, that's going to be one of the games I'm going to talk about and be real brief about it. But let me know what you think down in the comment section about the Panthers season. If you're a Panther fan, do you have any concerns going into the playoffs playing a New Orleans team who has had your number in both games that you've played? But like I said, let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.